All right. Good morning, everyone. Greg here, Whistling Wind Ranch. Welcome to Smoky, BC right now, I guess. Sorry for everybody out there right now that's having to evacuate their houses and homes and farms and ranches and leave their animals behind and their houses and everything they've worked for. To the people down along California and the west coast of the States with the hurricane coming through. Hope you guys stay safe down that way. It's not a good time for pretty much everywhere right now. And that kind of brings us to this. If you've seen our video about the dog attack, I'll put it up here. We talked a bit about the livestock protection program and the verification program. Oh, sorry, I'm getting stuffed up because of the smoke. Okay. I didn't fill out any of the paperwork because it was a confirmed dog kill. We have a coyote kill today, or a suspected coyote kill. This is Stanley. He's a ram, yearling ram. He's a purebred East Frisian. He was our only purebred East Frisian ram that we had for sale. He was a good little dude. He was a sweet little guy. He actually had a really good temperament and just a good boy. We suspect it was a coyote kill because the dog has not been loose or out. Found him out in the field. A neighbor actually phoned us up and said, just when actually we pulled home yesterday, and said your sheep are out and there's a dead one in the field. So we went over there and just initial investigation. His stomach was pulled out and something had gone in through his side where the soft tissue is in the lower below the ribs, gone in through there and got to all the organs. So went in through the soft tissue to get that high protein feed, organ meats. So again, sort of feels more along the lines of coyote. There was very little damage to the neck. So we did initially suspect at the time that it could be either a coyote. He could have, because if you'll take a look when I show him here, his horn was a little bit damaged and he had been fighting a little bit with another ram. So could have been coyote, could have been swelling on the brain causing brain damage and death, or it could have been bloat as well. We can check for all those, but we're going to focus right now on looking for clear signs of coyote attack. We came out later, we left him in the field and we had to go find our sheep that had actually escaped and moved them and fed them before we could bring him home. So there might be some scavenge from birds. I will show you how we found him right now. Okay, I don't know what date it is here. This is Stanley, East Frisian. Stomach has been pulled out. Trauma around the mouth. His side's been ripped open that was down. He's been dead for a few hours. Stanley, he's been chewed out on this side. Something came in here and feasted on him for a while. I don't think it is. I'm not finding any bite marks on the neck. I'm not wondering if he didn't get... Because look at the froth on the mouth.
Yeah.
Flip him over. There's a puncture there. We'll have to clean him up.
Yeah.
Sorry, bud. Okay, do you want to just leave him for now?
Yeah.
And go find this other flock?
I'm just going to flip his open side down again.
Okay.
To protect it.
There's guts there. There's poops there. Okay, I'm going to start. You got to go find that major flock, I guess. Or should you help me find... Where'd Michael go back home? Okay. I'm sorry, Stanley. Okay, so we'll do a check on him in a bit here. I'm going to go... I don't know what to do here. Should I do this perimeter over here?
Do you want to do that one? I'll walk up this one.
Oh, this is where Stanley was. And he just got drug off to here. But you can see how dark it is. I had to run back to grab my rifle on a post to run out here to try and take a shot at him, but I was so winded from running back and forth and no steady. I missed the coyote clearly, but he was done by a coyote. It came back to drag him off. He was drugged from there. And we heard the coyotes out while we were shepherding the sheep. So the whole time I'm trying to move our sheep in, that little fucker was out here. So I don't know what to do. I'm sorry, little man. I can't track him right now. He ran off into the dark trees. We just got to come out and kill the little shit somehow. I don't know. So that's basically how we found him there. And then as we loaded him up and bring him home, we did catch him after all this. There was a coyote dragging him off, and I did try and take a shot at him, but it was too dark and I missed. I had to run all the way back to grab my rifle, to run all the way back out to try and steady myself on the tractor. It was not good. I should have just actually let the coyote bugger off and then come back and eat and then taken a better shot. But with the way it was getting darker, and then just with the anger you got, like, you little bugger, you want to take the shot right now. So I thought I could. We didn't get him. But we're going to look for bruising on the neck, where a coyote would have, like, coyotes don't bite. They just hold on the neck, and we'll look for that. We'll also look for some damage on the back legs where the coyote would have chased him down and grabbed him. We'll be able to tell the difference from where the coyote was trying to drag him away with his back legs and as the coyote would have been chasing him down when he was alive, because there will be holes on the back leg from the coyote dragging him off, but there won't be bruising or blood in that area, because after he's dead, the blood doesn't pump to those areas, so you won't have any of that. So you can tell the difference, especially with the birds feasting on him. There won't be any bruising around any of the holes that might be in his neck that were caused by the carrion birds. So I guess without further ado, let's get to it. And maybe I'll just put the paper up, I guess, but on the screen somewhere there. So we got the rancher's name, their address, email, and then there's a verifier, which would be us, so we do both things. And then there's the attack incident dates and report. So we'll just go through and fill it all out as we fill it out. But it don't get done if we don't do it, right? So this is Stanley. He is he's just starting to lose his, so you can tell their age by their teeth. These are called lamb teeth. And then this one coming in here, this would be an adult teeth. So he's just coming up on a year old. East Frisian, purebred East Frisian ram. We can see here on his head, can you see where his horns are sort of bloodied a bit? So he had been fighting a little bit with somebody else, which had led us to suspect that it could also be brain. But we'll focus on this here, and we'll check the bloat line, and we'll check for predation. So you can see that he was found this side down, and then all these organs were taken out except for the stomach and some intestine there, which is usually the last thing to get chewed on. It's that high energy feed they'll go after, because they just expended a lot of energy to take them down. The birds, I don't think we're feasting on them too long, but we'll have to check everything we need to check. Will basically be up here. We'll look in the back legs for any sort of oh yeah, there's a lot of damage there. That's coyote there. That taking out that back end there, that soft area going in through the rectum. Yeah, we're not going to be able to identify too much on this back leg. This was, I think, as that little bugger was trying to drag him off last night, because this looks like there's no bleeding in this area. So this was done long after death. So we're just going to look for any punctures in here. Because he's a woollier sheep, this makes it a little bit more difficult. Yeah, they went in through the bum. And it looks like coyote attack. But we can't draw any conclusions just because we saw what we saw. Our first goal should be keep inspecting here. I just don't see a lot on here as far as bites to the back end. Okay. What we need to do now is we need to go over to the head. Sorry, buddy. So we need to start working on skinning this back and searching for holes over here. So you can see a lot of blood here, which means the blood was pumping when these were made. So there's a hole there. So let's look for a companion hole. There's another one right there. You can see right there. Oh, can you? I'll have to get pictures here in a minute. So we got a hole here. Well, a couple. It's a bit of a tear. And we've got another hole there. You see the distance? So it could have come in this way here. So what we'll do now that we know these are here is look for two more on that angle there, like a mouth coming down, before we skin them back and double check. I gotta go get, ooh, there's a bruise right there. So there's a bit of bruising in this spot right here. So we will have to skin him back to find that better. There's another bruise right there. And coyotes, like I said, are softer on the mouth, so than a dog is. Sorry, my man. Sorry, my man. There's one on the top. So, looks like there's got to be a hole here somewhere. There's a lot of blood on this side. Sorry, buddy. Good boy, Stanley. There's a lot of hair missing here. Oh, there's a lot of bruising right there. That looks like a light skin tear. Bruising down there. There's a hole right there on the underside that is companion to those ones on the other side. We definitely got to skin this back. There's just no way with the amount of, there's a bruise right there. That's where that blood came from. Okay, we have to skin the young fella back. There's just no way to do this without skinning this back and taking a look at the skin on the underside without the wool in the way. So I'm gonna go get my tape measure that I forgot here, and we will yeah, see this tearing here in the missing eye. That is all from the birds. So yeah, I'm gonna go get my tape measure here. And so I'm just gonna fill this out as I go there. Check all the apply. So we'll go mitigation and we'll go compensation, sector, sheep. So what that means is we might need somebody to come up and put up traps, and we want to be paid for his death. And then the sector, the beef, sheep, or dairy, well, we're sheep, the date of attack, and then reported as, so there's injured, killed, or harassed. So if they're injured and still alive, we can actually do a check on them and figure out what got them. But because he was killed, we got to fill out killed. And then there's harassment. So if a dog or a predator's been chasing them around but hasn't injured one, that's what that means. Description of wounds. Well, so what we're looking for description of wounds was is anything that would give us cause to identify the predator. So once we open him up and find his wounds on his neck, if they are consistent with a coyote, that's what we fill in there. And then we have to describe the surrounding area. So basically, there really wasn't much sign. So there wasn't any tracks and there wasn't any feces, but there was a lot of hair. There was organs, the stomach and the intestine were pulled out, and then there was a coyote sighted after the initial discovery of the animal. So we can fill that in too. Let's check for cheeks. Hi, bud. Okay, hopefully this is sharp enough to do the job. Sorry, buddy, I'm so sorry. Usually helps to have two persons because somebody can hold them over while I come under the neck, but hey, I'm so sorry, buddy. Sorry, buddy. Trying to show him as much respect as you can. He's my buddy. That's my buddy. When it comes to a coyote, they are more efficient than a dog. So he was basically held down and then essentially suffocated. Or so he may have been scared as he was down, but he didn't suffer too bad. So it wasn't a mauling. Maulings are the worst. Dogs, yeah. So we're gonna open up his neck here quite a bit, the hide on his neck. because I want to get this whole flap area opened right up. There's the bruising. So you see all this bruising? And you see this here? This is not going to show up as a after death, as something was chewing on him. This was at time of death. But just looking at these wounds here at the time of death, I'm leaning more towards a coyote because look at the bruising in there. So, and that's way up where a coyote wants to do that. So we're gonna keep working here. Okay, so that's the neck peeled back there. Okay, so now we'll go get some water. There's a lot of damage done in this area. Looks like we've cut back far enough. I can start to open this up. We're gonna take this bit of hide off just so we can check that out. Okay. There's a hole there. We've got the hide back here. I take it right off just because it's easier to lay down and scrape off the fat and flesh there. So we can take a look and see where the bite marks are and measure those. We just got to keep in mind we know where that came off of here, so we can compare if there's a bite here to a bite on his actual neck. But I'm gonna go get some water and we're gonna rinse him out here and start trying to find measurements for bite marks. There's bruising up there, which would be on the bottom of the other side. There's bruising right there. There's a hole right there. There's a hole right there. I think these two right here are gonna be my tell. So those two were up a little bit right about other side right there, opposite of this damage right here. So, hey buddy. Okay, so yeah, that's wool that got punched right through right there. Yep, that's our holes right there. So that's wool that got punched through. So let's pull that wool out. See, coyotes are way more effective. That's 2 clear bite marks right there. Can I get that out of there? Come on, we got to pull the wool out. Okay. And that's right where this blood is. See if we can't clean this back a little bit. There we go. Oh, that's a lot small hole, yeah. Right there and right there, okay. So I think we found the puncture marks. We've got our puncture marks right here and here. I don't know how well you can see that, but you can see right there and right there. And then we've got to measure the distance, which is 1, 2, 3. It is 44 centimeters apart. Would you screw off? And each bite wound is 3 millimeters, maybe 4 millimeters. So I'll see if I get some better pictures for my verification, because we have to supply pictures of these wounds. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to shut this down and get pictures of that, because that would be the 2 big teeth that came down like that. We'll take this flesh, lay it back over top of him, find where those holes were, and then compare those to damage on the tissue here. Bloody hornets, man. There it is. Got him, you little shit. Right there's another one. Got you too. Ha! If we relay this over like this, it almost looks like it came in over his head, because this is here, but it could have also come in, because look at the damage on this side here. So if we laid this over here, it looks like that was the one that came in through the top. So this would have been like this over his neck. So his head would have been this way. So, sorry. So let's just see what we got down here. Look at this bruising on this area. So we'll just try and scrape some of that back a little bit. None of this red blood material would show up, because you can see the bruising on these wounds right Right here, you see the bruising around there. None of that shows up if they're dead. So this is what killed him. This is done when he was still alive. Same with all of this damage down here. So what we're going to carefully do is start looking for bruising like we got right here. But this actually wraps around and joins up with this. So let's just get to that right now. Got to be careful about how low I go here. Okay, so we got these two damaged spots right here, which actually correspond up with this stuff in here. So we're going to clean this back to find the other puncture wounds too. So I should actually put this on my fleshing stand because I could find it a lot easier. I might actually just set this off to the side here. So this damage that we found here, sorry, just give me a second here. Okay, this damage that we found here, let's just find that first. So if we lay this over, it was on this side of his neck. So my man gets to flip over here. Woo, don't kick the camera, Stanley. He's still a troublemaker. I'm just gonna go get the hose and rinse this off, but I think we found where the matching into the muscle underneath, where the damage from those two punctures on his neck came through. Yeah, look at right there. You guys see that right there? That's the puncture spots. I bet you that lines up perfectly. Look at that, yeah. I bet you that lines up with these right here. So there's one, and there's one. So these two here, and this was opened up like this. And see right there? You see where these are right here? If I lay that down, it lines up with those two. Just like that. So if we measure this too, this should be equal to our other stuff. So we'd be, yeah, just about 3 centimeters, 3 or 4 centimeters, 3.5 to 4 centimeters, and about 4 millimeter, 3 to 4 millimeter puncture holes. The muscle underneath, because it's moving as the coyote is in, it's really hard to actually get a clean picture of that, so I'm probably not going to submit that with our application. Your best thing is the hide, because this hide is so tough. That's why they make sheepskin rugs out of it. It actually retains its shape, so once they puncture teeth in there, it's less likely to tear, so you get more accurate measurements on that. We'll just take a measurement and make sure, because these could be lowers, these could be upper, and this could be a different width on the bottom ones. So if we make sure that they match the upper and lowers of a coyote, well then guess what? It's a coyote. So pitter patter, let's get at her. This is all bruising. So grabbed him in here. You can see these bite marks here, and then it caught him here. So it came in, I think, this way, and then as it pulled its teeth back, so it came in like this, because this mark here is really high on the neck. It's right up here. So it came in like this, okay, like that. And then as he moved, it dragged back, and that's why we have all this damage here, because you see how this is all pulled back like this. So it got underneath and tore this way. That's why that skin's torn there. And we can see the bruising here from where it slid back like that too. So as it came over, slid back, there is a tooth mark right in there. Look at that. Look at that. So let's just get a measurement right where those two are. That's why it's all skinned back too. So right around that 4 mils there. That was a coyote. And you know the difference if you go back and watch our other video. Sorry, Stan, I'm just gonna stick that there. So basically, I'm gonna rule that as a coyote just with those two different bite marks and the efficiency of the kill. Those bite marks were all done while he was alive. There was not a lot of repositioning, so when you saw the dog kill, you saw there was a lot of different places where it... Sorry, my other phone died. It's a coyote. So the style of kill, it was efficient. One set of like really aggressive bite marks in there. When it caught the bottom hide, the hide stayed there and drug a little bit. And that's why we have the tearing on the neck, the bite spacing, and the diameter of the teeth. matches with the coyote. The manner in which he was consumed or feasted upon also fits with the coyote. They come in, they kill pretty efficiently, so thankfully he didn't suffer too long. It was a quick death. Then they go right to the soft, high energy feed. Every predator, when they kill something, they want to consume fast, they want to kill fast. Predator becoming good at their job, they can kill fast, so that's thankful for that. And then they consume so they can replace that energy that they've burned out. Coyotes, usually what they'll do is they'll come in, kill a lamb about his size, get their initial burst of energy, feed off the soft tissue, the organs, and then this one here buggered off and hid in the trees for a bit. And then he came back later that night. He was going to drag Stanley off here, which he was doing when we caught him last night. So they'll drag him off and they'll either eat a little bit more in a safer area or they'll bury him for a bit and come back. Because you got to keep in mind, coyotes are also like the low man on the totem pole type of predator. They're hunted by larger predators. So if a coyote has something like this dude sitting out there, a bear might come along and be like, hey, I don't have to chase this down. I can consume this. It's already there. I have no work. I'm going to take that. And a bear's going to kill a coyote. So a coyote has to be very careful, especially cougars too will go after coyotes, and cougars and, oh, wolf, that's the word. And wolves will also hunt coyotes. So coyotes, they come in, they kill, they get out, they come back when it's safe, and then they drag them off. And that's what we saw yesterday night. That's why he was eating the way he was, and I guess there's not much more to it. I just got to go start filling out my forms and send off my pictures, and then when Carrie comes home tonight, I will have her go over my verification and ensure that I've come to a proper conclusion. But I mean, we did a pretty thorough job on this, so pretty confident we've satisfied all our needs for our compensation and mitigation for this dude. It's getting late enough here. I actually have to go out on another patrol through the boys' field and see if I can't find that little yellow-eyed piece of shit. So, don't mean to end on that note, but on that note, I'm off to work to go protect the other little boys. So, I will take Stanley here and I'll put him out in the manure pile there. So, I'll catch you guys on later. Hopefully, better video than losing lambs.